like as bad as people do say. Obviously, a bad workman blames his tools and stuff like that, but you kind of have to blame your players at some point because they are the ones on the pitch. But
yeah, when your tools have a mind and body of their own that can go and do other stuff, like I think you could definitely start putting a bit of blame on them.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Footy Fetish podcast with myself, Alfie, and Ollie. Yo. Just us two again today. It must be a few Tuesdays in a row now.
I think so. I think the last Thursday one was... Oh no, we didn't do one last Thursday, did we?
We did not do one.
It was Tuesday, yeah. There we go.
Yeah, back to Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, Mondays and Thursdays this week, just due to some time stuff going on during the week. You know, everybody's busy. Getting to that point of the year now where it's getting a bit manic.
That's it.
But yeah, no, obviously no football. A little bit of international football, but you know, it is what it is. But then we're also just going to talk a bit about the new managers coming through. Obviously, we might as well start with that, shall we?
Might as well.
These new managers, yeah. So obviously, we've seen quite a few quite a few people lose their jobs. Like Daniel Farke, Norwich lost a job. Dean Smith, Aston Villa lost a job. Am I missing anyone else recently that's lost their job and has been replaced, or is it just them two?
No.
Obviously, I think we spoke about Steve Bruce, but we haven't spoken about the fact that Eddie Howe has taken over as well.
Yes.
So we can talk about that. But yeah, where should we... Let's start with Newcastle because they're the names on a lot of people's lips at the moment. Obviously, yeah, sacking Steve Bruce, hiring Eddie Howe as manager. I don't know how you feel about this, Ollie, but I thought it was a strange appointment.
100%.
One of the worst defensive managers ever, with a team that has a championship defence at the moment.
It's one of the situations where, without the money that they have access to now, they could have got Eddie Howe if they wanted. It's not like they've done any better now. They've got that money in. It's not that they're getting a bigger name or whatever. It's the same sort of standard of manager as they were getting beforehand.
100%.
If not,
I'm just looking at his tally. His Premier League record is 190 matches, 56 wins, 43 draws, 91 losses, 241 goals scored, and 330 goals scored against. Now, obviously, we know a lot of the fact we know that when Bournemouth were in the Premier League, they were often in the top 3 to 5 for goals conceded most seasons. They would often, obviously, concede a lot of goals. He was one of those managers that really focus on going forward. And I think he'll be good in that terms for Newcastle with having like St. Maximin and Callum Wilson. I think that he'll be fine. I think they'll be able to get goals, but unless they have some serious investment in January, they're going to leak goals every game. They're currently averaging about 2 goals a game conceded.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Only Norwich has a worse record right now than Newcastle in terms of conceding goals. But I'll tell you what, I've heard something interesting from him. Apparently, during his time off, he spent some time in Madrid studying Diego Simeone. Now, if there's any defensive manager in the world that you want to go study, Simeone's probably the best one.
Yeah.
So fair play to him. At least there's some humility there, right? Like he knows his flaws, he knows what he's not good at, and he's trying to prove them wrong.
Trying to work on it anyway, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to improve that area of his game, and you know, if he does, you know, there wasn't that long ago that he was being talked about for England, for Spurs, for Arsenal.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, they're obviously, you know, he is a good manager, but he just does have his glaring deficiencies, shall we say?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it could be a good appointment. I don't know. Do you seriously see Newcastle making any moves in January?
I can see them making a couple, but I don't think anyone that's going to make a massive difference. They need to sort out their back line. I don't think they should be bothered about trying to get anyone crazy up top and spending 60 plus mil or whatever just to try and get a name in in the attack. I think they need to sort their defence out before anything else at the moment. Yeah. Callum Wilson and St. Maximin, with the right sort of partnerships and the right people feeding the balls into them, they can score goals and they can play well, but it's the back line that's really letting them down at the moment, I think. So sort out that back line, maybe in the summer think about some strike or a striker or attacking mid or something that they can bring in and just add another layer of creativity in there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're currently, they've conceded 24 goals, which is the second worst, only to Norwich, who've conceded 26. Obviously, only team in the league to not win a game. Norwich have won a game.
Yeah.
We can't underestimate that. They're, I think Newcastle going down, and I think this is an appointment. This is a smart. It doesn't feel like an appointment to me where they're like trying to stay up. If I'm being completely honest, if you're going to try and stay up, you probably would have gone for like a Lucien Favre or someone like that who's got a bit more about him, who's got a bit more experience in football generally.
Yeah.
That is a likely name to come and keep them up. I think they are preparing for the Championship, and I think Eddie Howe's a good manager for that. I think he'll bring them straight back up. There's no doubt if they go down, when they go down, I'm fully convinced they're going down. When they go down, there's no doubt they'll be straight back up again the following season.
Yeah. I think
it just will be
with Newcastle in January, they're not going to have that pull on players just yet. Like, because chances are, like you said, they're going to get relegated. So there's not going to be many big names, even if they do throw a load of money at them, that are going to want to go to Newcastle for a couple of months and get relegated to the Championship and then have to be down there for a year before probably coming back up again.
You're not going to get anyone that's you're not really going to get anyone worth their salt who's in the Premier League. And I think, I don't know if we said it on the pod, but there's been the contract thing that a lot of Premier League teams have agreed to not deal with Newcastle.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. I mean,
I don't know how City got away with that, but
mental in it. But I saw that there's Newcastle sort of online giving it that they're going to go, that they want Eze and Zaha, and it's just like, it's not going to happen, man. No. It's just not going to happen. Like, why would they go to a worse club? Like, you have the money to become a good club, but it doesn't make you a good club. You still have a backroom staff that really don't know what the hell they're doing.
Zaha's always said, when he's spoken about leaving, it's because he wants to go play European football. And Newcastle can't offer him that. Like, not this year, definitely not next year.
We have a better chance in the next 2 seasons to offer them European football.
Yeah, probably. Over the next 2 seasons.
We still don't have a good chance, but we still have a better chance of offering him European football over Newcastle.
That's it. And I don't think Eze is going to be going anywhere. You guys wouldn't sell him anyway.
He'll be here for a few years. I expect him to fully move on at some point, like I do with Elise, like Tyreek Mitchell. I fully expect that we'll do what we usually do, bring these young players through, get a lot of money for them, and we'll do this, rinse and repeat. But not to a Newcastle or something like that. I can't see that happening. But, so Newcastle. That's about it, really, for the Newcastle news. Obviously, with the... they need to move on from a lot of their backline, like Lascelles, and, to be honest, he's the only one from their backline I can really remember. Let's have a look here. So they had Dummett, Fernandez, and Kraft playing.
Do you think... Ryan Fraser's going to become more favoured now Eddie Howe's sort of linking back up with him?
Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because Ryan Fraser is the person that left Eddie Howe high and dry when Bournemouth were getting relegated and didn't want to stick around and help out.
Yeah,
so that's
understandable, but see how it goes, really. It's going to be an interesting one because Ryan Fraser's not particularly good, and I thought he used to be actually all right for Bournemouth. But yeah, he hasn't really done too season. Much. Yeah, that's what he didn't really do too much after that. So, yeah, who knows? Eddie Howe might hold a grudge against him.
Yeah, and I assume that Eddie Howe will probably move back to that 4-3-3 that he plays every single time he plays anywhere.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that will come in. But I'm just having a look at this back line quickly. Yeah, so it's like Matt Ritchie playing left wing back, Clark, Lascelles, and Kraft as their back three with Jacob Murphy as their right wing back. And then Fabian Schär off the bench, Manquillo. That's it in terms of defenders. They have got such a sorry backline.
Yeah.
They got Brentford at home as their first game. If Brentford haven't been doing so terribly, I'd put money on Brentford to win that game. But they've been awful. They've been awful. I imagine he'll go for a new attacking. I mean, I've seen Newcastle fans on Twitter going mental just because the fact that he was running around the training pitch. That shows how awful Steve Bruce was as a manager. Like, the fans are getting excited just because of fucking managers putting effort in on the training ground.
But
Like,
you can always
crazy.
tell between the managers that get stuck in at training and actually sort of play kind of with the players and kind of not show them what to do, because obviously they don't need to be told, like show them what to do because they're professional footballers at the end of the day. But and there's also the sort of managers that you can tell stand on the side and point and shout directions at people, but don't really actually get stuck in on the same level. And Eddie Howe seems to be of the former, and Steve Bruce was of the latter.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. Do you see Eddie Howe there as a long-term appointment? And by long-term, let me give you 4 years.
I think it depends on.
Because say hypothetically they go down this year, he brings them back up.
Yeah, I don't think he can be expected to do
a year and a half.
I don't think he can be expected to do too much this season. So next season he should fairly easily, if they've got sort of money to spend, and even without the money in the previous years, they fairly easily gone straight back up again. So I don't doubt that they'll get promoted again, maybe even win the championship. And yeah, I think that first Premier League season back is going to be the real key for him, to see how he performs, and after having that time under his belt, having a couple of seasons to bring in some sort of transfers anyway, with some of the money that they've got access to. But yeah, I think that first season is going to be very important for him. If he doesn't perform, if he doesn't meet their expectations, I can see that being the end for him. Not too long of a spell, but
I think I could see him there for about 3 to 4 years potentially, because I don't think there's any reason why he can't be the guy that initially does something with them, like brings them back into the Premier League, and then maybe maybe even gets them into the top 10, maybe. But I don't personally see him being like a Mancini, the one that wins them their first Premier League title. Just that's not going to happen. Like, let's be real. But yeah, I think maybe there's bags and bags and bags of potential here with Eddie Howe. It just depends on how serious, and we need to, because he has had some pretty good signings as well. But obviously, we most famously know him for the horrific ones.
yeah,
So, spending 30-40 million on Jordan Ives, spending about 20-something million on Dominic Solanke. All these awful transfers that effectively relegated Bournemouth. It was a big reason why they got relegated. But yes, all right, that's enough Eddie Howe. Let's move on to the next one. Where would you like to go, Ollie? Where would you like to go? Would you like to go to the Midlands, or would you like to go to Norwich?
Midlands.
Okay, well, let's start things off then with Aston Villa. Obviously, I want to get your initial thoughts on the firing of Dean Smith. Premature, or do you think right?
I personally feel it's a bit premature, but you don't really see most managers go 5 games unbeaten. 5 games, 5 losers in a row, like without any repercussions. And yeah, it was unfortunate for him, but I think it was a bit premature. I don't think they should have let him go. I think give it another couple of weeks, he probably could have turned that team around a bit. But yeah,
I wonder if he'd lost the dressing room. I don't think he had, but I wonder if that might have been a reason why he got sacked.
Yeah,
because they love him in Villa. They love him. Like, the fans love him.
Yeah.
I know the fans obviously got on his back a bit about the loss, and I get that 5 losses in a row is pretty awful. I get that, but he's a good manager, man. And he's an Aston Villa fan.
Yeah.
He's the kind of manager you want, isn't it? Like an actual fan of your football club and all this kind of thing. That's what you want.
Unfortunately, his quote from sort of this summer, whenever it was, the summer just gone, whenever it was, saying about how they're a better team without Jack Grealish, has only led to him being sacked. So,
well, the mental thing is, this team is actually better than the one that Jack Grealish was in.
Yeah, but I think Jack Grealish did a lot more for them than anyone else is doing.
He took a lot of the spotlight off of the other players in the team. But when you look at the team they have, like, their back line they have a very, very solid team for the position that they're in. And, I think Gerrard, obviously the big thing here is, Steven Gerrard is the one that's been appointed. I think this is an amazing opportunity for him, because this is almost like I don't know, it's weird, but because you don't get a team of this stature, with this backing, with this fan base, with that stadium, with that training facilities, And a stepping, like, sorry, I know Villa fans won't like this, but they are, for him, a stepping stone to the Liverpool job.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect. And the squad is good. Like we say, you got the Emi Martinez, but one of the best keepers in the league. Tyrone Mings is not great, but then you've also got House and Konsa there, who are very decent. Matt Target, Matty Cash. You've got that midfield. McGinn's a very good player. Buendia, he started slow, but we know Buendia. We know he's a very, very talented player, and when he gets firing, he's wicked. Leon Bailey, I know when he's fit, he's shown really good glimpses this season, and we know he's a good player. Danny Ings, Premier League, tried and trusted. He is if he can bang you 15 goals a season for a striker, and then you've also got like El Ghazi, people like that. I'm definitely missing someone on that left. Who am I missing? Who am I missing on that left? I feel like I am missing someone. Let me have a look quick. But yeah, no, I just there's so much potential here. El Ghazi, Buendia, Bailey. What was I thinking of? Jacob Ramsey. That was it. Jacob Ramsey. He's a good player as well. No, they have a player called Aaron Ramsey. I'm assuming that's Jacob Ramsey's brother.
It is. There's 3 of them, I think.
Oh, mad. Tuanzebe. They have... There again, to play into the point, they have a very, very promising youth academy at the moment who's doing bits. So yeah, I mean, it's an incredible job. I feel bad for Dean Smith. I do think it was slightly premature, but then I think if you have the chance to go after Gerrard, who has bags and bags, who has a much higher potential as a manager than Dean Smith.
Yeah,
I think it's great. Do you agree? Steven Gerrard is a good move.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people obviously talking about how he's not ready for it. He's only been in sort of the SPL, but if there's any team to move from sort of the SPL to a Premier League team, you kind of want it to be a team that's got the potential like Villa do, and aren't far off being a very good team. They just need sort of the right instruction to get the best out of them. But I do kind of think their back line and how sort of bad Mings and that have been recently is I think it does come down to the fact that obviously John Terry was there, obviously doing a lot of stuff with the defensive coaching and stuff like that, and ever since he's left, it seems to sort of coincide with the downfall of that Villa defence as well, really. So I think if Gerrard's bringing in the right defensive coach, then that could bring them back to life. And
the feeling is bringing his lads from Rangers.
Yeah, I assume it would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it would be a good appointment for him. I'm excited to see what he can do. I don't think it's a big.
Yeah, so continue with your defensive point. I saw a link for a player in January they should sign, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Joe Gomez.
Yeah.
Fourth string centre back at the moment at Liverpool.
I think that's mainly down to the fact that he was coming back from injury, wasn't he? Is he fit now?
He's been fully fit all season, bro.
Oh, blimey. I knew he'd been back in training like a couple of months ago now.
Matip is Van Dijk's partner when fit, and then they bought Konate, who's been siding in there as well.
True. Yeah.
I mean, if he wants any chance to get in at the World Cup, he should go, because he's not had a look in since the beginning of the season, purely because he's not playing.
Yeah. That's it. And there's a handful of other English centre backs that we could take as well. Yeah,
100%. They could.
That are playing for bigger teams.
I was going to say, there's no way they could go get Tomori. I feel like Tomori stays in Milan.
Yeah.
Great. I wouldn't want to see. There's so many of these kids now. I know it's going a bit tangent. There's so many of these kids now, English kids abroad, that I just don't want to see. I don't want to see Bellingham come back. I didn't really want to see Sancho come back, if I'm being honest. Yeah,
I think it's what's sort of happened with Sancho so far. You're a bit like, is this going to be a permanent thing? Is he not going to be doing well sort of on a consistent basis? And is that going to happen to other players? I think it is really good for these players, young players, to go out there and get experience in other leagues and stuff like that if they're not going to get the game time over in the Premier League. But if it's going to then kind of affect what happens when they get back to the Premier League, or when they actually do get to the Premier League, then... Because it's clear that there was quite a big difference between the Premier League to the Bundesliga with Jadon Sancho, and there is all this talk about obviously he's a slow starter and stuff like that, but a lot of the times it's because he's sort of carried on a bit of a knock or an injury into the first few games of the season, so they're not wanted to rush him back. At the moment, he's basically just been fit the whole time. He's just not been performing.
I put it down to Ollie though as well.
I'm not blaming just Jadon Sancho.
Yeah. Ollie's team selection is horrific. Like the way he alienates and isolates players is actually is a detriment to the football team. We see Donny van der Beek and we see Jadon Sancho coming through now. Like, Ollie is almost becoming a detriment to the football club. It's a shame we couldn't get Bards on for today because I would love to have drilled him about Manchester United again. But we will get there soon, don't you worry. But yeah, so Steven Gerrard. Don't know about signings and stuff. Maybe he'll bring a few Rangers players through. I don't know. But the Steven Gerrard thing, I think I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I think there's bags of potential there, but I think people may be overestimating Gerrard. He did win only 1 of 9 potential trophies during his time at Rangers. He did, instead of selling players to get money, because Rangers are broke. Rangers have no money. They're financially fucked, basically. Let's say they should have sold players and they didn't to take that 10th SPL away from Celtic, and it worked. But now the club is messed up. They have to sell players and they haven't got the money to buy any new players.
And that's why he's jumped ship.
And that's why he's jumped ship. And I get it. A weird question. Rangers and Villa in their current form. Who's a bigger team?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough question, really, because I think they've both got their stake at it, but I don't believe that any one sort of.
I personally think internationally, Rangers is probably more recognisable. Nationally, it's got to be Villa, isn't it?
Yeah, when you say nationally, if you're talking just
in England and
Scotland
and in the
well,
UK, in the UK,
okay,
I would say it's fairly safe to say that Villa are a bigger team than Rangers.
Yeah.
But international wise and like how they're recognised like abroad and stuff like that, I think Rangers still top that, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. They've got a lot more sort of history about them, and I think there's a lot more.
We should do a poll. We'll do a poll on Instagram after this podcast. Who's a bigger team right now, Aston Villa or Rangers?
Nice.
Yeah, we'll do that because that's an interesting one. I want to hear what people think. Yeah, so Steven Gerrard. Where do you see him and Villa placing this season? You bear in mind that they're currently in a relegation scrap, 16th, only 2 points off the drop. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be.
He keeps them up. I think that's safe.
Yeah, he's going to keep them up, but I don't know how sort of whereabouts they're going to finish, because I don't think it's going to be an easy start for him. I think he'll have his hands full for a little bit, just while he sort of adapts to the team and the team adapt to him and everything like that. So I think highest possible place for them, or where I personally think they're going to finish this year, 13th maybe.
Yeah, I feel like they can weed out the dross of Leeds, Brentford, Southampton.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel like Everton are going to have a drop off. That's another manager that genuinely could be in trouble if they get drilled at Anfield by Liverpool, which is coming up soon, right? Yeah, it's only in 3 weeks' time. They've got City, Brentford, Liverpool.
Oof.
And oh my God, they've got City away, Brentford away, Liverpool at home. Sorry, Arsenal at home, Palace away, Chelsea away.
Jeez.
Bro, they could come out of that with 0 points, bro. They could come out of that with 0 points.
For sure. That's not good for them.
No, and then that's another manager, man. Rafa, what if
Rafa could be number 6?
What if they get shit pumped by Liverpool at Goodison Park and the Liverpool fans are singing Benitez's name? He's got to go, isn't he?
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
Have to sack him.
Yeah, I think you can take a certain sort of part of that and go, okay, it is Liverpool, and they obviously are a lot better than Everton are at the moment.
And Everton have got some key injuries, like let's be real.
But at the same time, if they get absolutely rattled by them, it doesn't matter who you play. At the end of the day, if you get absolutely rattled, especially sort of Liverpool being sort of their Scouse rivals and stuff like that, it could be very embarrassing. Like, that could possibly be the nail in the coffin for Rafa.
Yeah. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Them sacking Rafa. Holy hell!
When's the last time that this many managers got sacked in the season? Or so early, anyway.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's never happened before.
Yeah.
Because what we've had
11 games.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5 managers gone.
5 managers go. We've had 5 managers.
We've had a quarter of the Premier League managers go.
No, we've had more. No, we haven't, because Bruno Lage started the season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had 5, and we could have potentially 7 if say if Everton, well, to be honest, potentially 7, say if Everton,
United.
United, and maybe Leicester, but not a sacking. Maybe Brendan Rodgers takes that Man United job. Bloody hell, this season could shape into... By the end of the season, Vieira could be like the 10th longest reigning manager in the Premier League. He's only been there for this year.
Jesus.
Bloody
That's
hell,
so bad.
it's terrible. This season, like, the weird thing about this season is those top... Yeah, the top 4, City, Chelsea, City, West Ham and Liverpool have been heads and shoulders above the rest. The rest have been so bad, I think. Well, not so bad, but like in context to them, they've been. The rest of the league's been awful in it. Yeah, look at you guys, sneaky 5th.
I know, man.
Been
sneaky 5th for a couple of weeks now.
Love that for you. Yes.
Knocking
so Steven
on the
Gerrard.
door of Champions League again.
I did see some Arsenal fans and Palace fans having a bit of an argument earlier on Twitter because a Palace fan said that he didn't realistically see Arsenal pushing the top 4 next season. And there was a couple of Arsenal fans that just didn't like that.
Next season or this season?
Next season.
Oh, I don't know. I think it depends what happens this season.
Yeah, but I thought it was reasonable to say that he doesn't expect them to push the top 4. I think that's a reasonable thing to say, that he doesn't expect...
Well, at this stage it is, but I think it just depends on how the rest of this season goes.
100%.
Because if this season
goes...
goes...
crashing that top 4.
If this season goes from strength to strength, then I we could finish this sort of this season in the top 4 and then carry that momentum into the next.
Yeah.
But
Hobber's going to have to pull his thumb out his arse if they're going to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And just get some consistency in his game, Jesus.
I did see a couple of rumours that who was it? An old United legend. I can't remember his name. Oh, I can't remember now. But either way, old United legend said that the perfect signing for Arsenal right now would be Donny van de Beek. I'm a bit like, no, I don't really think so.
It could be good actually.
Could be, but I don't think that we really need him. I think we need to focus on maybe some other, we need another striker because Lacazette and or Aubameyang are probably going to go.
Yeah. Lacaz's definitely gone in there.
Yeah, well, he's not going to be signing a new contract with us. He's going to go for free in the summer, but yeah, we need to do something.
Yeah, I think you will do something. I just don't know what. I don't think January will be the time. Well, you never know. Look, weirder things have happened.
Yeah.
Just having a look at yours, see if I can find any.
That Valovic or whatever his name is, that's been rumoured with a link to Arsenal. New striker.
Ooh, Raheem Sterling.
I don't want some old reject. Well, not old, but some cause we've done this with Chelsea players. I don't want to start doing it with City players now as well, where we just get in players at the end of their prime and we're a bit like, oh, well, that was stupid and a waste of money.
Yeah, and you just spend an absolute ton on wages as well as because it's looking like something like 80-something million or something, yeah.
What for
and
Sterling?
It's just, you can't do that, yeah.
I think that's a bit steep.
Yeah, it's a bit steep. You should. Yeah, that's way too steep. I wouldn't pay that. That'd be ridiculous. Right, so yeah, Steven Gerrard. I think that's it for Steven Gerrard, really.
Yeah.
I think he'll do well. I think it's a great move for him. I feel bad for Rangers fans because they were in the middle of making that charge for the title again, getting automatic. Oh, that was it. He's done awful in Europe the past couple seasons as well. We can't they've basically out of the Europa League now, aren't they? I think they're out of it.
I've not really been keeping up with Europa League. When Arsenal aren't in European football, I give up with it.
No, that's fair enough.
This is the
first time I was doing a little bit of looking at Steven Gerrard and I saw about the Europa League. But yeah, I don't think he's done particularly too well in the Europa League. So that's another thing that's even a step up from the SPL, which is the Europa League, because it is a step up in football from the SPL. Let's be real. He's been awful. So
were they not Champions League if they won the SPL?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think they got knocked out of Champions League
and then went into the Europa. Yeah.
Let me have a look. But yeah, I believe so. Yeah, they're in the Europa League group stage, so they must have been knocked out of the qualifying for the Champions League, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And gone into the that. But yeah, no. Yeah, it's gonna be so interesting. Very excited to see what Steven Gerrard could do. And funnily enough, his contract running out with Villa ends the same season that Klopp's contract runs out with Liverpool. End of 2024.
Heard it here first.
I don't think that has ever happened. I have a very sneaky suspicion, because it's easier to say this than it is to say he's going to succeed. I've got a sneaky suspicion that he is going to block this Villa job. I don't think he'll get him relegated, but I just don't think that he'll make improvements that will warrant the Liverpool job once Klopp's gone.
No,
which I
can see him being very similar, having a similar relationship with sort of Villa, that kind of a similar relationship. When I say similar, I don't mean it exactly the same, because like Ollie has with United, obviously he was a legend at United, everything like that. So he's probably looked at in a different way. But I think with Gerrard going to Villa, I think they're going to be looking at him in this kind of like the same way that United fans look at Ole, having a legend as a footballing Premier League legend or whatever as a manager, and that, which is all fine, but it was been a very rocky relationship with Ole, and I think that could be the same with Gerrard.
Maybe Palace would be a better comp.
Maybe, yeah.
But then, I mean, the job that is on the hands of Steven Gerrard is let's be honest, it's a far easier one than the job that was put in Vieira's hands at the beginning of the season. So
I say now it's a bigger job, our job, but at the beginning of the season, definitely.
Yeah. And now that Vieira's settled in and his vision's been put in, but yeah, at the beginning of the season, like no one wanted to touch us, man. I'm just happy that they didn't, because I'm very, very happy with Patrick, I must say. How can I not be? But like the last one, the big one, the one that I thought very much was going to be Frank Lampard. And it wasn't. It's the man Dean Smith. He's only been out of job for a little while. Wants to get straight back into things. He's now Norwich manager.
Right.
This one was
even about the Lampard sort of connection with it, and is it because he knows Brendan Rodgers very well, and he knows that Brendan Rodgers might be on his way out soon to go to United or whatever. And
like, if Leicester give Lampard that job, they're fucking idiots.
Yeah. That's what I think, but I think if obviously that they do know each other, Rodgers and Lampard, so there could be some sort of connection.
Yeah, he was Mourinho's hot right hand man, wasn't he, on his first stint?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh mate, if they give him that job, it's awful though, because they get in these jobs on names alone, man. Like let's be real, Gerrard and Lampard never would have got the jobs that they got if it wasn't for their name.
Yeah, definitely.
And would they be linked to these jobs if it wasn't for their name?
No, I don't believe so at all. Because quite frankly, if you have someone that's not a Premier League legend, like a random manager that comes up, maybe never got that far in terms of actual playing ability or whatever, but someone that's not publicly known as well as like Lampard or Gerrard, they're never gonna. Their names aren't going to be picked for it because they're not. Yeah. In the public eye like that, and that there aren't going to be people tweeting or putting on social media and stuff saying, "Oh, this person for this job," just because they're sort of a Premier League legend, or not even Premier League, just because they're a football legend or whatever. It doesn't make sense.
No, it can work because obviously I don't know about Vieira. I don't know if the name played a part in anything with us hiring Vieira, because obviously he hadn't managed in the Premier League before. Obviously he managed in the Ligue 1 with Nice and the MLS with New York. I don't know. It's a weird one, like with that one. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the name definitely had a part of it. I think the recruitment's sake, I think the name had a part of it.
Yeah,
sure.
I was going to say, and that's where these sort of legends do come in handy, having connections at bigger clubs and stuff like that. Obviously, like you said earlier,
respect instantly. That's the thing.
It's like you said with what's it called? Joe Gomez going to Villa. Obviously, Gerrard's got a very strong link with Liverpool, and they might want to do him a favour or something.
I didn't even fucking think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. And yeah, it makes so much more sense. It could even happen even more now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Joe Gomez plays for Gerrard, yeah.
So
no, I don't even.
These legends, they've got their foot indoors in other places and stuff like that, and they know a lot of people, so it can probably be a good thing. But yeah, it's pros and cons, I guess.
it, mate. That's it. I think, with we'll go on to Norwich, I guess. We'll do Norwich. I am a bit confused by what Norwich see. So I'm assuming that what the board have seen is enough to think that they can stay up. Because you don't appoint Dean Smith if you're not trying to stay up, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to go down and get back into the Premiership, you keep Daniel Farke because he is so prolific in the Championship at winning it. He's, if they go down, they win it with Daniel Farke as their manager. They obviously think that they can stay up. So they've appointed Dean Smith. And that also makes me think is why they didn't appoint Frank Lampard.
Yeah, I think with Dean's the sort of attraction to Dean Smith for the job maybe is because more recent Premier League experience, more experience in general as managing, but more recent Premier League experience of only having just lost his job or whatever.
Similar systems as well, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. They're not a sort of a huge step away from each other, and I think that then some of the Norwich board might have thought that the Dean Smith sacking was a bit premature as well. So. I don't know. They might see something a little bit more in him.
Smith. Good for Dean Smith. Go back and get yourself back in the Premier League, man.
Yeah.
I think he's a good manager. I think it was premature. I think he just hit a rough patch with Villa. But yeah, no. Norwich. It's interesting. I don't think they'll stay up. I really don't. And say hypothetically, if Dean Smith is actually bad, and Villa have lost their last 5 on the bounce. How the hell is he going to get anything
From
out of his Norwich team?
Who, before their last game or whatever, had lost the last 20-something in a row or something. Oh, no, they hadn't won in over 20-something games.
20-something games, yeah. No, it's terrible. They are a bad team. I still fully think that Norwich and Newcastle are destined for relegation despite these 2 new managers coming in. I just think the dross in their squads is just too much. Too much for any manager. Let's get it right. You put Klopp or Pep Guardiola in both of these teams with their jobs, they're getting relegated as well. Let's not.
Oh yeah, there's only a certain amount a manager can do with the team that he's provided with. 100%. It's not like you can chuck a shit team at the greatest the greatest manager of all time, and they're going to start winning games with them. It's like as bad. People do say obviously a bad workman blames his tools and stuff like that, but. You kind of have to blame your players at some point because they are the ones on the pitch. But
when your tools have a mind and body of their own that can go and do other stuff, I think you could definitely start putting a bit of blame on them.
Yeah.
But no, it's an interesting one. I worry for Dean Smith that he may have taken the wrong job. Maybe he goes back down to the Championship, but why should he, man? But yeah, I don't know. It's just. I don't see them staying up, and I don't want Dean Smith to be dragged through the mud because I do really like him.
I think he's been given long enough that he could do something, but I think there's a lot that needs changing within that team for him to be able to do a lot better with that team and make them a better team themselves. Because there is like you said a lot of dross in that team, and it does need to be shipped out before they can. Bring in some other people, but I think doing it now is probably, if they were going to do it this season, doing it now is probably a better time to do it. Just sort of coming up to January transfer window, still got a little bit of time before that window to get a feel for the players that are there, get to know them all a bit more, figure out who you need to replace and which positions you need to sort of be working on, and then over the next sort of month and a half or whatever, and then start making a couple of changes in January. Obviously, being Norwich, I don't think they're going to have a world of money to be able to spend to make huge changes, but I'm sure he'll have enough time to pick out a couple of names.
I'm sure. And one thing that he does bring for Norwich fans and for the players is hope.
Yeah.
Because you've seen what he'd done at Villa. He finished in the top... did he? Did he finish in the top 10 or did they finish 9th or 10th or something last year? I think he did, didn't they? Let me have a look. Or 11th. Was it 11th? It was 11th. They finished 11th last season, which is not bad considering they just survived last season. Obviously, they had Jack Grealish. Norwich don't really have a player like that. Well, they definitely don't. That's another thing. You see, they don't have a player to drag them out of the mud, do they?
Nope. He's now at Villa.
Yeah.
Buendia.
Yeah, exactly. Like they bought Rashika, who was supposed to be that guy. Josh Sargent,
Pookie's just a bit shy.
Yeah, me too. Rashiku's not a good player. Josh Sargent, who, like, if we haven't learnt by now, if the striker can't do it in the Bundesliga, how the hell is he going to do it in the Premier League? Palace have fallen guilty to this as well. We signed Mateta. Luckily, it was only on loan, and he's going back in January. But Mateta, he came in, struggled at Mainz, but was, supposed to be decent. And he's just, apart from the one goal that will keep him in Palace folklore forever, was that double nutmeg heel flick against Brighton, which will live with Palace. He'll be a legend forever for that. But aside from that, he's done absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and especially the fact that you now bought an Edouard as well. It's a bit like, oh, okay, well, he's now being pushed even further back down the list.
Who can play striker, play on the wing, as we've seen. Like Vieira very much likes to. He's figured out a way to play Edouard and Benteke together, which I like, because Benteke has also been pretty decent so far this season.
Yeah, it's a similar sort of scenario to kind of the Henri Bergkamp that used to be at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Having that sort of striker, but having the attacking mid just behind so they link up really well.
Yeah, and on the games that Benteke doesn't play, you often see like a situation where they line up 4-3-3, but then you'll see like Ayew, or depending on who, say if it's an Ayew on the wing, you'll see Ayew drop back almost as like a midfield defensive player, and then you'll see Edouard and Zaha go up as almost like a striking duo.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Conor Gallagher going forward, Ayew dropping back, it sort of works really nicely. It'd be interesting to see how that continues. But we keep going on tangents about our own football teams. I love it. Norwich City, do you see 10 out of 10 for the appointment? I will say. But if your plan is we're committing everything to trying to stay up, and we don't want to go back down and just come back up again. We want to do everything we can to stay up, and we're not just gonna accept relegation. I mean, you can't accept relegation after 11 games. That's insane.
No.
But so fair play. It's a 10 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10 appointment for me if that's what they're gonna do. I just don't think it helps. I think they are destined for the Championship.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be destined for the Championship, you might as well keep Fart.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, obviously Fart is known for his winning ability in the Championship and stuff, so yeah, why not stick with him, I guess. But I think they're just thinking, but we might as well do something now if we are going to do anything, and try and give this new manager enough time to try and make a difference before the end of the season. Because if he takes over in sort of February or something, he's got no time to be able to make a real difference. So, yeah.
All right, before we move on from the managers and we finish this podcast off with a little bit of England chat, I think we shall. I just Newcastle, Norwich. I'm going to go through the ones that have new managers. Newcastle, Norwich, Watford, Villa. I won't count Tottenham. We'll leave it at that, I guess, yeah? Is that it? Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. Out of those four, who do you see finishing the lowest, and who do you think finishes the highest?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I've not seen what Dean Smith can do with that Norwich team, really. So, or what Gerald can do with Villa. I still probably think that Norwich will come bottom because that team is truly awful, and they've just got nothing about them. So I still think Norwich will come off worse throughout this season. Gerald's got enough with Villa to be able to stay up and can fairly convincingly stay up anyway. As I say, not top 10 or anything, but
no.
13th, 14th, something like that. I think out of anyone, I think Dean Smith's going to have the hardest time with Norwich. You can't underestimate Eddie Howe either, because he could be truly awful as well.
Yeah, but they're going to leak goals. We know that. They're not going to... There's no way they're going to shore up their defence and eke out these 1-0 wins. They're going to concede goals, so they're just going to have to hope and pray that Eddie Howe has enough in him and this team has enough in him to outscore their opponents. There's very high talks of Aaron Ramsey signing in January. Which is interesting.
Be a final nail in the coffin of his career.
Yeah, I know that. Well, it should be a free transfer as well because it looks like Juventus are trying to buy out his contract in January, which is fair enough. He's on 300 bags a week and doing absolutely F all for him. So it makes sense. It's a shame what happened to Ramsey. You never should have left Arsenal, man.
No, I think he
Never
was
should have left Arsenal.
No, I don't think he should have, but it's. Yeah,
I don't know if it was necessarily his fault though.
No, he did start to play a bit better in that season that he ended up leaving us. But I think we were also in an awful situation with that midfield at the time, so he was the only one that could really do anything. But yeah, I think he was. I don't know about unfairly treated, but I think it came to a natural end. I don't think if he'd stayed any longer, there would have been a lot of complaints from fans and probably a lot of everyone. Everyone from other Premier League teams as well. So yeah, I think it came to its natural end. I don't think we should have kept him, but it's a shame that he couldn't have sort of stayed at Arsenal for the rest of his career, really, and sort of see it out as an Arsenal legend. But
yeah, or go somewhere just a bit more realistic that you're going to really play in that. Don't ruin. I mean, he's not ruined his career because he may end up back in Newcastle. May actually play pretty well. You never know. Yeah. But yeah, that was. I agree. I think Norwich will finish bottom, and I generally bottom, and I also think that what's his face? Gerrard will do the best out of these new clubs. But yeah, I don't know. It's just yeah, it'll be interesting. Right, England time, boy. We are currently 5 minutes into the San Marino game, and it's 0-0. Disappointing. We should be 5-0 up by now.
I forgot that was on.
Yeah, obviously the last game was a cracker. England 5, Albania 0. Harry Kane proving that he can do it.
Yeah.
Just not in a Tottenham shirt.
It's not for my fantasy
Maguire. Yeah, exactly. Maguire silenced the haters, obviously. And Jordan Henderson, as a man that can't score international goals, he signed to back a few international goals.
Yeah, exactly. I think the floodgates have opened.
Yeah, I was unfortunately not able to watch this game. I was at work. But no, it wasn't. No,
we were out.
We were out. We were out for my birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting very drunk.
Everyone go wish Alpha happy belated birthday.
Appreciate it. Don't ask how old I am.
26.
But yeah. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, obviously, doing a good job. Obviously, a lot of players have now left the England camp to go back to their respective teams. We saw a call-up, very well-deserved call-up for my guy, Conor Gallagher, coming into the... He's not starting today, he's on the bench, which is fair enough. He's been there for 2 days. So fair enough. But very gassed to see him. Hopefully, he'll get a run-out today. I'm sure he will. At some point, get a run out today. He's on the bench, but yeah. I believe it's. Let's have a look at the team. I believe Ramsdale and so Ramsdale in goal. Tyrone Mings, Connor Cody, and Maguire make up the back three, with Saka playing as a left mid. Calvin Phillips and Bellingham making up the midfield. Oh, are we?
We are.
Oh, lovely. And Trent at right, sort of wing back. It looks right mid. Then Phil Foden, Harry Kane, and Emil Smith-Rowe as the front three.
Bang, he's starting. Go on, the boy. And Saka starting. And
Ramsdale.
Whoa, there we go.
And guess who has scored for England again? Harry motherfucking Maguire. Silencing all the haters. I wonder if he stuck his fingers in his ears again like Roy Keane hated.
Oh, for God's sake, man.
What?
Just Harry Maguire.
Oh, yeah, it's nuts. Maguire, man like Maguire.
The only thing that I'd like to see now in that England team right there is maybe Ben White in the defence, and then we've got a little Arsenal spine of that team. Ramsdale, Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Ben White as well. That'd be nice. But yeah,
no, we need to
funk it. Well, we are playing San Marino, for Christ's sake. We normally beat about 7-0 most times.
It won't be too much longer until we see Gay and Mitchell in there. Especially if Luke Shaw keeps playing like absolute dross, mate. Tyreek Mitchell's got to be the next one up. Yeah. And then Gallagher, hopefully we sign him in January on permanent. But yeah, we're looking good. I mean, there's not really much to talk about, to be honest. England, we're doing what England do. We are winning games that make us qualify for big tournaments. That's what we do. Yeah, well, how does it look at the moment? We are. I'm imagining we're top.
Yes, we are.
We are indeed. We are only 3 points clear of Poland at the moment. Obviously, who we drew with. Yet to lose. 29 goals for, 3 goals against. Love to see it. Yeah, I hope England get the job tonight. It's good to see a little bit of a mix-up in the squad.
Stuck the game on. I've got it on the background now.
Nice. I like the front. The front three is cool. I like that midfield of Saka, Phillips, Bellingham, and Trent. Yeah, quick off the top, Trent or Reece James? I know we did this the other day, but I was legit move.
Yeah, Reece James. Still.
Okay, yeah, Reece James, me too. Cool. Yeah, this is it's going well. I think we're pretty much done, Ollie. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Oh, one thing I did want to just mention was the Portugal-Serbia game last night.
Oh, yeah, jokes,
with,
wasn't it?
Mitrovic scored a goal in the 90th minute or something, or 91st minute to essentially nearly knock Portugal out. Serbia are now top of the group.
And they got to go into play-in or play-off, right?
That's it. Serbia have now got automatic qualification, and Ronaldo going to his last, well, maybe not even going to his last World Cup. So
that'd be awful. Imagine if they don't make it to the World Cup.
It was an okay header from Harry Maguire, that goal, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't think Sam really could have done much about it. No. Awful
I'm
defence,
completely fine if Maguire, Kane, these man, Sterling, they just want to turn up for England. That's completely fine with me.
I really enjoy Harry Kane to start turning up for Tottenham just for my fantasy league, but
oh gosh, Ollie, you're supporting Tottenham now.
No, I just said I need Harry Kane to step up. They can concede as many goals as they like.
But you just need to start bagging something.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. We'll do the next. I guess we'll do the fantasy on Thursday.
Well, we don't have any fantasy to update.
Well, preview, I guess. Oh no, we've already done that last time. We already said who we were playing and stuff, didn't we?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, as you know, just in case anyone didn't know, top of the league. Yeah, and that's pretty much everything. Just leave that on you. That's the final thing to leave with you guys. Top of the league. And yeah, we'll see you this weekend for the football. Some good games coming up. Obviously, we'll see you on Thursday for the preview on Twitch, and it'll be out Saturday morning for you lot on Spotify, Apple Music, and that. This will be out. Well, this will be out if you're listening to it on Spotify and Apple Music. So enjoy. I hope you've enjoyed this episode.
There we go.
But we got Leicester Chelsea. We got Liverpool Arsenal, which will be a good game. Man City Everton, Tottenham Leeds, Palace Burnley, all good games that not Palace Burnley for me. For a neutral, no, they ain't gonna watch that. But yeah, I urge you to watch as much Crystal Palace as you can because we're fucking incredible. But yes, that is it. That's it. Yeah, we're a good team. I've not been able to say we're a good team for a very fucking long time.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Fair enough. We'll let you have it.
Ever, really, literally. Not in my lifetime. My dad's been able to say it. I've not been able to say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to leave you there.
Got to wish Arsenal luck against Liverpool as well, because it'll be funny if we can beat them, or at least get anything from them.
It would be kind of jokes. But where are you guys? Yeah, you're only
2 points.
5 points ahead. Well, we kind of need you to lose. You're only 5 points ahead of us.
Yeah, but we're not fighting each other, are we?
You might be.
No, I'm. Arsenal are better than Palace, okay?
Yeah, no, they are, but we might be.
No, we're definitely in the same sort of fight at the moment. It could change around within literally 2 weeks. Like, if you guys have got the fixtures that you guys have got with...
you could be 7th at Christmas.
Yeah, you guys have got some fairly decent fixtures coming up. Obviously, you've got your 3 out of your possible 12 that you were talking about.
3 so far, baby. 3 so far. Let's go.
Exactly. But yeah, we could also drop a couple of points in this game.
Yeah, who knows? So, who have you got? Yeah, you've got. To be fair.
We've got Liverpool,
you've got Newcastle to bounce back from. Which
Newcastle. It's Liverpool, Newcastle, and then United, is it? Yeah.
Which isn't too bad either, Ollie, to be fair, right now.
Who knows?
But yeah.
Ronaldo turns up.
Oh, God, don't. Yeah, he probably would as well.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you, everybody, for watching or listening, consuming in any which way you do. I've been Alfie. He has been Ollie. We have Footy Fetish podcast. Thank you. You know, like, subscribe, notification bell, whatever. You know the drill. Facebook, Instagram. We're not on Twitter, but Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Music, all the good stuff. Follow us. We do 2 every week, unless there's no Premier League football like there wasn't this international. Then we'll just do the 1. But yeah, everybody enjoy your week.
And if you're interested in not just listening to the podcast but reading stuff about the Premier League, Alfie writes various articles.
That's good.
So check out his social media as well, where he posts about them as well.
Sport. Yeah, check them out. I've got some stuff on there. Got a Vieira blog it's either going up or it's up. I'm not 100% sure at the moment. A Vieira post, and yeah, there's also some NFL content for you guys. Anyone that likes some NFL stuff as well, you can find that from me. Yeah, go pack, go. But I will, see you guys soon. Mo Farah signs for y'all, and yeah, have a good week. We'll see you on Thursday.
Bye. Thank you.